First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakakodash. I want to send double honors unto the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation as always unto the hopeful elect who continually put their lives on the line and present their body as a living sacrifice for Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Coming back once again with another lesson through the spirit and power, Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Hawakakodash. Lord willing to edify the lost sheep of the nation of Israel, consisting of the Negroes, the Latinos, and Native Americans. And this lesson is going to be going over, when you appreciating this truth, because it's not given to many. As you have the scripture that says, neglect not the gift that is given to thee by the putting on the hands of the presbytery. Okay? And that gift is ultimately mercy and grace. But there to have the prophecies of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai within you, and to have and to be able to teach them, is a gift in itself, man. As when you go through the book of 2 Corinthians, or I believe the book of 2 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, where it runs down the list of the gifts that were given to men, to make one body. And this gift of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding was not given to many, and I'll prove it through the scripture. This is the book of Sirach. The book of Sirach 6 and verse 22. Sirach 6 and 22. All right. It says, for wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest to many. Because Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai chose certain men that he trusted, man. As Paul was a perfect example. It said that the Most High entrusted him with the ministry, which is a heavy task, man. Because you are to feed the flock and take care of the sheep of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, man. That's a great responsibility. That's exactly why we have to set a perfect example of how to be godly, man, and watch how we move as supposing to be godly men. And I say supposing, man, because it's all up to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai whether we're part of the fold or not. So that we do everything in our best abilities to please Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, and part of pleasing Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai is feeding his sheep. Okay, so I want to, Lord willing, like I said, this is edifying. I'm gonna get straight into these scriptures that I have, and I'm just gonna go through the spirit, man. This is out of the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 5. It says, "For we preach not ourselves, but Yahweh Shai Mashiach the Lord, and ourselves your servants for Yahweh Shai's sake. For the Most High, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts." And that light is what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. And when you go and to prove that is in the book of 1 John, where it says the light is the truth, man. All right? So that he caused this light to shine in our minds, in our hearts, as it says hearts, but the Hebrew word is lab, which is your mind. Okay? And it says to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of the Most High in the face of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So we don't teach our own word. We're not teaching for our own selves. It says we're bought with a price, and that price is what? The blood of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. So we're not to deviate from what's been taught. As it says in the book of, the book of 2 Timothy. It says, continuing the things which thou hast learned, knowing of whom thou hast learned them and has been assured of. All right? We don't deviate from the ministry. We don't deviate from the gospel that's already been preached, where we're reestablishing it, because there's a scripture roughly paraphrasing that says that there's no more light in the earth, which is the truth. You look at the masses of the people, and you don't see too many people keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. You don't see too many people rehearsing the righteous acts in truth and sincerity. You only see that from a select group of men, and a lot of those men are in Great Millstone. Not only at Great Millstone, because there are other men and other sects of people, the people of Israel, that actually do keep the law, statutes, and commandments to their best abilities. All right, but you see it flourishing at Great Millstone. Without boasting, without bragging. That's just how the Spirit set it up. Okay. So it says, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power, Salakia, the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us. Because it says we have this treasure in earthen vessels. And when you go into the book of Romans, the 11th chapter and the 33rd verse, which I just grabbed it real quick, it says that it speaks about the depth of the riches of the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? This is Romans 11 and 33. It says, oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out, man. And the mystery, as it says in the book of Colossians, it was given to a select few of men, man. All right? It says it was made manifest unto his servants, the prophets, which everybody's not a prophet. Everybody was not given this, the gift of prophecy, or not given the breakdown of dark parables. Only the Most High, like I mentioned earlier, and as the scripture says to back it up, he chose able men. Men of an upright spirit, man. All right? One more scripture in the book of Proverbs, the 20th chapter, and then I'm going to get back into the Corinthians. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 15. Okay, it says, there is gold and a multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. So these are the treasures that Yahweh Shem Yahushai gave to certain men. And these fleshly bodies, man, these mortal bodies, he gave it to us, man. And that shows that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is control of everything. That shows how much power he has to, because as I mentioned, he said that light is going to shine in darkness, and that darkness is what? Straight up ignorance, confusion, evil, which, we come from, before we were filled with this truth, before the Most High quickened our spirits, we were in that darkness, man, doing the same things that the Gentiles do, breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, committing adultery, eating pork, defrauding our neighbors, doing all these different things that the scriptures are against. And for for Yahweh Shem Yahushai to choose us out of the world, as it says in St. John the 15th chapter, is a total blessing, and it has to be appreciated, man. It has to be appreciated, man. You have some that will not appreciate it, but for us, whom the Most High is dealing with, hey, you need to look at it in perspective that he can give this to anybody. If he gave it to our funky ass, he can give it to anybody, man. So back in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, and it's definitely a blessing, man. And that's why the scriptures tell us, as we grow in this knowledge, it says the more, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, man. Because he can give this word to anybody. And when I say anybody, I'm referring within the realm of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Let's make that very clear, because he's not going to give it unto a heathen nation. Okay, Baruch the 4th chapter says, "Oh, happy are we, Israel, for the things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us." All right, not to the heathen nations. Okay. Now reading on here in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, and the 8th verse, it says, "We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed." We receive all type of slander. We have to go through a whole slew of tribulation, to show that we're faithful servants, man. Which is something that we glory in. What the book of Hebrews says, that he chastises us because he deals with us as to sons, man, or as to his children. Okay, and that's a total blessing, man. And any brother, any and every brother that believes in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, anybody that believes in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, appreciate the fact that he gave you any type of light to understand, man. It says, always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Yahushai, that the life also of Yahushai might be manifest in our body. The scripture tells us, I believe the book of Galatians, if my mind serves me correctly, says, I count all things but dung. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab that. It says, I count all things but dung, that I may gain Yahushai, man. All right. This is let's see, where is it at? Dope Salaki. So I was off. It's Philippians. All right, the 3rd chapter and 7th verse. It says, in fact, I'll pull it up on this screen. I have a whole separate device. Salaki. So this is the book of Philippians, the 3rd chapter and the 7th verse. And it says this. It says, but what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Hamashiach. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushua my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach, man. You know, it's absolutely a blessing and an honor to serve Yahweh Yahushua, man, because this word wasn't given to everybody, you know. And I just want to put that energy out there, man, because we're getting closer and closer to the last days, you know, and we have to be more and more appreciative that Yahweh Yahushua is even dealing with us in these last days, man, and giving us the spirit to move forward and to teach this ministry or to teach this gospel, man. You know, it's an absolute blessing, you know. Yeah, but that's really all I want to touch on, man. Appreciate these treasures that we had in these earthen vessels, man, because at the end of the day, you know, we're not shit at the end of the day, man. We're trying to be somebody, and the only way we're going to be somebody is if we deal in Yahweh Shai and don't be reprobates, you know. All right, so with that being said, I want to say Call Halal Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakadash Barakatham unto the sincere Akim out there teaching this word, and to the women and children that believe sincerely and truthfully, okay, and to all those the confusion of faces, okay. Call Allah Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakadash Barakatham. All praise, honor, and glories to Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. That being said, I'm going to say Shalom.